So today marks the start of week 38, day 1. Oh gosh, it's Tuesday, and what's technically the second day of week 38, but it's week 38 plus 1. This week your baby is the size of a watermelon. It's common for your breast to become swollen and tender in the final weeks of pregnancy as they start to fill with colostrum or pre-milk. Discharge can also occur. Wearing a comfortable and supportive bra can help. Or like a lot of the NHS and other places recommend, they also highly recommend you to colostrum harvest, which is what I've been doing. I have to admit though, I haven't noticed any swelling or leakage or overproduction, unless I'm actually physically trying to hand express. I am tired today. It's been such a hectic 3 days. Obviously you found out at the end of the last video what happened at the weekend, so I'm not going to repeat myself with that. You know how hectic and crazy it was. Yesterday, aka Monday, or week 38 day 0, we had a growth scan, and we had it confirmed that that was our final growth scan. Growth scan was all good. Baby is still very mobile, very active. He was actually very well behaved for the sonographer, which was a nice change. He is so big now, it's actually really difficult to actually see him on the sonography screen. It's like you can only just catch the odd foot or leg or everything else. She checked his liver, that is looking fine. Kidneys are looking fine. Stomach is looking good. Bladder is nice and full. Spine is looking good. Heart rate is looking good and strong. Umbilical cord is looking good and strong and is not in any risk of choking him or wrapping around his neck, which is great. Placenta is still looking strong, and it is, as well as being at the front, it is high. So it is well out of the way, ready for birth. And he is very much head down. Very much head down. She couldn't even get a measurement of his head because he is so far down in my pelvis. And we couldn't even really get a screenshot or a view of his head or his face because, again, he's so far in my pelvis. Like, it was picking up my pelvic bone more than it was picking up his face. He is very much getting ready to come out. And my God, can I tell, because the pelvic girdle pain these last 3 days, oh my God, it's been hell. And then on top of that, with all the snow outside, it's actually been snowing for about 3 days in the UK now. And there is a very thin layer of snow and ice everywhere. It was so hard to walk yesterday with the pelvic girdle pain on top of slipping on the snow and ice trying to walk from the hospital. It's just, that was not fun. That was not fun. I am so glad and so grateful that I am on maternity leave right now, because I would have had to cancel my dog walks without a doubt, because it would have been far too dangerous for me to go walking at this stage of pregnancy with the dogs in this weather. So I am so grateful that I am not out there walking right now. As for the actual growth scan, it went really, really well. He has actually jumped a lot, a hell of a lot. He was 46th percentile at his first growth scan, 48th percentile at his second growth scan, and at his most recent growth scan, he was in the 71st percentile, which means he's put on lots of weight. He has had a massive growth spurt, absolutely huge growth spurt. But the weird thing is, I can't tell. It's like I actually feel less pregnant since a couple of weeks ago. I feel more normal, more human, minus the tiredness because I cannot stop yawning. I actually don't feel as heavy. A lot of people at this point usually say their stomach feels like a bowling ball in their hips. I don't actually feel that. Weirdly enough, I still feel quite human. I've still got a fairly good amount of balance. Granted, trying to get my shoes on and off, or my pants on and off, or any form of underwear, anything from my legs up is a nightmare. It just does not work. That flexibility, that mobility, because of where he is on the pelvis, it's just not happening. I've also noticed my acid reflux has gone down. It's still there. It still perks up now and again, especially when I'm talking. It really likes to start playing up when I'm talking, but if I'm quiet and I'm just, for example, stop it. Stop with the acid reflux. When I'm talking, I can't stop burping. I can't stop yawning. I can't stop with the acid reflux. But when I am just sat and being quiet and calm and chill, so long as I'm not hungry, the acid reflux is gone or reduced severely. However, if I am talking, I physically cannot stop yawning, burping, or acid reflux. Talking has become detrimental to my physical health. I'm also less breathless now, which apparently is a normal thing. Once baby starts going down towards the hips and it gives you a little more room in your stomach and lungs, you do apparently get less breathless. And I have noticed that. I am a lot less breathless than I used to be. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent again, aren't I, with regards to symptoms. But that's it in regards to symptoms. Other than that, nothing's really changed. I still get the pelvic girdle pain. I still get the burping and acid reflux. I still get really tired really easily. Some days more than others. I'm still having that thing where some days I am collapsing, exhausted, and I have other days where, like today, I'm somewhat full of energy. I say somewhat because I am starting to get a bit drowsy now. Again, going back to the actual growth scan, like I said, he is in the 71st percentile now, so he is really, really grown. His heart rate is normal, everything else is looking normal, he's quite happy, there's no signs of stress, there's no issues with his heart rate. And then straight after the growth scan, we had to have an appointment with the obstetrician because of my medical conditions. She confirmed she has referred me to an IBD nurse or an IBD specialist, but once again, as of yet, no one's got in touch with me about it, which this has been the problem I've had since the day I got diagnosed as a kid, is I have been referred by my GP or by another doctor multiple times to see the IBD or inflammatory bowel and ulcerative colitis specialists to try and help me or to try and get me under a specialist referral program so that if I ever have any issues with my ulcerative colitis, I can actually go to them instead of my GP. And as of yet, I still have not been contacted by any IBD specialist or any inflammatory bowel disease specialist. So my obstetrician wasn't too happy about that, but she said that hopefully someone will get in touch with me soon. I doubt it. I've been referred 6, 7, 8 times in my lifetime and I'm still here waiting for someone to contact me about it. But once we'd actually finished that little conversation and I confirmed my IBD did calm down, once we'd actually had our appointment, it calmed down a few days later. Everything is good. Everything is fine again. I've not had any more flare-ups. She was very happy and satisfied to hear that. And she double-checked all the growth scan notes and confirmed that the flare-up hasn't affected baby in any way, shape or form. It hasn't affected the pregnancy in any way, shape or form. The growth rate is apparently normal. So even though I myself am technically high risk, I am classed as a low-risk birth because of all that. Because the pregnancy has been normal, because my condition hasn't been flaring up as often as they expected, because I've not developed preeclampsia, I've not developed gestational diabetes, I'm having a textbook normal pregnancy, baby is looking good and healthy, she said that I would be classed as a very low risk birth, which is good. And so I said to her, she said, I would still be classed as high risk as the mum because of my condition, but for the birth, I would be classed as low risk. And I said to her, can I just confirm, with all that being taken into account and being the fact that I've had a completely textbook normal pregnancy, would it possibly be an option for me to go on the nest? Which, as I said at the end of the last vlog, is the home birth away from home. It's a lot comfier, it's a lot cozier. There's a water pool or a birth pool in every single room. They've got stars and lights and ambiance, and it's very relaxing in there, and it doesn't feel like a hospital environment. It's so much more chill. And I remember seeing it and going, I really want to give birth in one of these rooms, because the birth suite feels very hospital-y, and that just made me feel tense. But then the nest made me feel so cozy and comfy, and it's like, no, I want to give birth in here if I can. And the obstetrician confirmed that yes, because everything has been normal, because my conditions haven't affected my pregnancy, I should be able to give birth on the nest. She said the only complication might be my weight. Because my BMI is higher, that may play a factor. But with that exception, there should be no reason I can't give birth on the nest. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I wanted. So hopefully a water birth may be in the pipeline, which is very happy for me, very, very happy for me. Very exciting. I could get the water birth, I could go on the nest. It's all a possibility right now, which makes me very happy, very excited. And it's now just a case of waiting for Minion to decide he's ready to arrive. Now, I am not of the mindset that he's going to arrive on his due date at all. I actually feel like anyone who expects them to arrive on their due date and then gets frustrated when they don't arrive, they're just setting themselves up for disaster, but that is my personal opinion. I'm expecting him to be late. Apparently, over 50% of pregnancies, when it's their first child, go beyond 40 weeks, and I usually give birth between 40 to 42 weeks, with the most common average being 41 weeks and 3 days. So I am full on expecting him to be at least around the 41 week marker. So because we're expecting him to be around the 41 week marker, I am in no rush for him to arrive. I'm telling myself I have time to get things done. I have time to sort things out, and I am so grateful for that. To finish the story of what happened yesterday, after we finished with the growth scan and the obstetrician, we actually went to see my mum and dad because my mum has been mithering me for months now to let her buy us a car seat for baby. And we've been reluctant because we already have a car seat upstairs that came with our 3-piece pram set. But she wanted to buy us the base because you can get a universal base to go with anything. However, we recently found out that the car seat we have upstairs doesn't meet newborn safety standards. It doesn't have the correct thickness in the lining and something else, but it doesn't meet current safety guidelines. So even though we have a car seat, we can't use it. So we decided to say yes to my mum and let her buy us a new car seat for bringing little one home. We ended up going to Smith's toy store because apparently they had a bit of a sale on. For every £50 on baby stuff you spend, you get £10 off, something daft like that. Had a look around. We really wanted a car seat that we could carry so that we could bring him out of the hospital. Most of the car seats that they had were ones that didn't pull out. They swiveled and turned so you could get them in and out of the car easily, but they weren't carryable. So we wouldn't have been able to bring him out of the hospital, so that would have been useless. So we ended up having a look at the pram sets because some of the pram sets had car seats that did allow to be carried. Unfortunately, all of them came as a set. You could not just get the car seat and its platform thing. You had to get the whole set, which was really frustrating and really annoying because we already have a pram set upstairs, which we really like. And now we've been told if we want one of these carry seats, we're going to have to buy a whole new set. We considered looking online and considered trying to find something cheaper, but my mum was adamant. She really wanted to treat us to something nice and something, I want to say high-end, and it wasn't high-end, so to speak. It was definitely one of the more expensive ones in the shop, but it wasn't particularly high-end. But we thought, you know what, she really badly wants to treat us. She's been desperate to treat us to something nice, so okay, fine, we'll let you buy us this whole new pram set. At least then everything goes together, everything goes on the same carrier, so to speak, and we'll then have a car carrier or car seat that is up to current safety guidelines. We ended up going for the Jolie or Joey, J-O backwards I-E, which was way more than me and Jason would ever consider spending on a pram, but my mum was adamant. She was fine with it, she was happy with it, and the reason we chose it is because the car seat is actually a laid down car seat, which means that baby can stay in there longer than the average car seat where they're only allowed to stay up into an hour. Because it's a lie down car seat and baby can spread out a bit more, it means that they can stay up to it for up to 2 hours, I think it is, which would make things a lot easier in several ways. And unlike other car seats that last up to 12 months, this car seat can actually last up to 18 months. So it has a much longer lifespan in that respect, or much longer usage span in that respect, which is why we ended up going for that particular make and model. The actual pram itself is really smooth, really easy to move about. It's got really good wheels that are very grippy. So it's everything that we wanted in a pram, with the added bonus that it's going to last us longer, it's going to last him longer, and it's going to be safer for him in general than what we currently have. The only downside now is we don't know what to do with the old pram, whether or not to sell it, whether or not to donate it to a local baby bank. We've not got a clue. We don't really know what we want to do with it at this point, but that'll be a decision for another day, I'm sure. Then after we finished with my mum, we ended up coming back home, letting Jason's mum and dad know that we would come home because Jason's dad wanted to come around and help us do some DIY around the house, which he has done marvellously. Him and Jason spent the entire afternoon doing DIY around the house to try and get the house in a more livable environment ready for when baby arrives. Let me show you some of the stuff they've started working on. So one of the things they actually did was put the hooks up on the wall behind the calisthenics machine. So we now have somewhere to store our yoga mats as well as all of our calisthenics equipment, which is the bands and the sliders, the skipping rope and everything else. So we can now put those up there. So they're no longer on the floor, which means that we've managed to get rid of the big plastic box that was here, and we've got all of the heavier weighty stuff in the back of the calisthenics machine, so it's out the way, so that when I need to use the calisthenics machine, instead of having to move everything all the time, it is now already out the way, and all I have to do is take off my birth ball, get that out of the way, and I can actually use the calisthenics machine easily, which is such a relief, I have to say. It is so nice. They also brought us a new TV stand, which we now have finally set up. So we've got the TV set up now, we've got the TV stand, and we've got all of our games consoles down there now as well as a load of other electrics. We've still got bits everywhere because we still need to do a little bit more DIY to get everything in the right place as we want it. But that is now looking a lot less cluttered, a lot more neat and tidy, and a lot more homely, which we like. We also have this great big long piece of wood. Don't know if you can see it very well there. But this is actually going to be a shelf that's going to go all the way along this back wall for storage purposes, because at the moment we are lacking on storage in this room. We've got the bookshelf, but the bookshelf actually needs to go up onto Minion's room, but then we don't have anywhere to store a lot of the books or a lot of the crafting equipment. We've got a bookshelf that we're going to get for the crafting equipment, but then we need storage space for the books as well as some of the kitchen equipment. So we're having one great big shelf going across the top of there for the books, the cat stuff, and some of the excess kitchen stuff. We still need to get rid of these books. We still need to send these books to charity. But we're getting there. We are getting there slowly but surely. They also talked about changing some of the light fittings to make them flatter on the roof, because at the moment they just dangle everywhere. And we don't like that. We don't like them dangling down because of the birds. So Jason and his dad was chatting about changing all the light fittings. They fixed the light fitting in the porch. They also started work on hopefully fixing the back bedroom in Minion's room. If they can get it fixed, it means that we don't have to call out a window mechanic, or window engineer, what do they call them? Window person to get it fixed. We can just do it ourselves, or they can do it between them, as well as a couple of other bits and bobs around the house. They had an amazing time and had a proper little father-son bonding experience doing all the jobs around the house, while me and Jason's mum just sat chatting, playing with the birds, like catching up and talking about plans and things like that for baby. And it was so nice. It was so nice. But it also drained me. I was so tired after yesterday because Jason's mum and dad didn't leave till about 5 o'clock. And because we had to be at the hospital so early, we had to be at the hospital at 9. We didn't even get out of bed until 8. And it was going to take us 40 minutes to drive to the hospital as well as find parking. So we ended up rushing first thing in the morning. So we had to rush through breakfast, and I mean rush. We ended up, what did we do? I took some Baby Bell, a banana and an apple as my breakfast, as well as some Huel to eat later on in the day. Jason, bless him, didn't even have breakfast, didn't have dinner. Didn't have lunch because we just had to skip right through it because the day was so busy. Jason didn't eat until after his mum and dad left. That was the first time he got to eat that day. I managed to get something to eat as soon as we got home, and then just had to try and snack through the day as best as I could. But it was hectic. It was such a long day yesterday. And then once Jason's mum and dad got home, Jason was just in the mood to tidy and clean and organise and rearrange. And I was just sat there going, I just need to stop. But we did end up getting a few bits done. We got some bits done in the kitchen. Jason got all the DIY stuff cleared up so that we could actually move around the house again. And I didn't end up doing any colostrum harvesting yesterday because we were so busy. I just did not get a chance. By 9 o'clock, I was shattered. I was absolutely exhausted. So I went upstairs and got an early night. Lay down, read my book, waited for Jason to come to bed. Somehow Jason still managed to end up falling asleep before me. I managed to put my book down around 11 o'clock, I think, and got to sleep and had a pretty good night's sleep, actually. We both had a really good night's sleep, and I think we needed it after the 3 days of chaos. But because of all that, today, freaking heck, I've been talking for a long time. Because of that, today is officially my first maternity day where nothing is happening, nothing is going crazy, nothing is going on. I have the day to myself until Jason gets home from work, but I actually have time to rest and relax and breathe and just recover from the last 3 days of madness, which is exactly what I plan to do. I was hoping to get some exercise done today, but I really just need the mental turn off. I might do some stretches later, I don't know yet. I just know that for now, I just need to turn the world off. I just need to turn the world off, let things happen, do some video editing just so that I feel a little bit productive today. I do want to get some housework done. So I want to clean out my birds' cages, I need to do the dishes, as well as some other bits and bobs, but I'm going to worry about that later. For now, I'm just going to chill and relax and see how I feel later on. Possibly go for a nap because I am getting a bit drowsy now. We're just going to see how things go. Just going to take this first day to rest, just rest. We've got another busy day tomorrow. Jason's off work again tomorrow and his mum and dad are coming round to continue with the DIY and put the shelf up and other bits and bobs. So today I'm just resting and recovering. My social battery is just... So I will see you guys this afternoon when I'm hopefully feeling a bit more human and I can actually get some stuff done. So it is currently week 38, day 2. I did not sleep well last night. I did not sleep well last night at all. We went to bed on time, got to bed, or put my book down before midnight as I hoped. snuggled down and did get a few hours sleep. I woke up around 2:30, 2:45 like I usually do to go to the toilet. Went to the toilet, got back in bed, and I could not sleep. I could not sleep. I could not get comfy. I was tossing, I was turning, I was twisting. I was getting acid reflux on one side, so then having to spin on my left, but then left got uncomfy, so I had to spin back on my right. Then I couldn't get the pillow in the right place, and then I just felt uncomfortable in general. I was getting Braxton Hicks through the night, and they were definitely Braxton Hicks. I've tried to memorize as best as I can the difference between contractions and Braxton Hicks, and it was all in the lower end of my pelvis round the front. So it was definitely Braxton Hicks, but I was getting a lot of Braxton Hicks last night. I just could not settle. I could not get my brain to turn off at all. My brain was just going and going and going and going. And then I remember watching the clock hit 3 and 3:30, then 4, then 4:30, then 5. And then finally at some point after 5 o'clock and before 5:30, I know because I woke up before 5:30, between 5 and 5:30, I did finally manage to fall asleep and started dreaming. And at some point during the dream, someone started screaming at me, "Wake up, wake up, wake up now." Don't know why. Don't know what happened, but for some reason my subconscious decided I needed to be awake at that very second. Woke up, and I was perfectly fine. I was on my right hand side, I wasn't on my back. I scanned the room out of slight fear in case someone was trying to break in or something had happened with one of my parrots. Checked their cameras, they were fine. So I'm not too sure why that happened. I'm not too sure why my subconscious decided I really didn't need sleep at that point. But after that, I then had a minor adrenaline hit because of the fear that, well, why did my subconscious just wake me up? What's going on? Why am I so alert? It's almost like a sixth sense that just something isn't quite right. And Minion was moving fine. Everything else seemed to be going fine. I didn't need the toilet particularly. So it's like, I'm not too sure why my body's just woke me up in such a startle. Finally got up about 6ish to go to the toilet. Went to the toilet, came back to bed, contemplated actually getting up and dressed. And then my body suddenly decided, no, I'm ready to sleep now. So put my head down and sure enough, I zonked out and I went to sleep until we woke up at 9 o'clock. I don't get it. I don't get why my brain suddenly needed to be awake between 3 and 6. And the stupid idiot that I am, instead of getting up and getting out of bed and just coming downstairs and doing something, I decided to try and fight through it and try and stay asleep like I usually do. I don't know why I do that, but that was just what I wanted to do at that point. I was determined to get some sleep in. Anyway, I woke up this morning. Jason very kindly has sorted out all the pets, which has allowed me to get myself a shower and shower my parrots. And we've actually got his mum and dad coming round any minute now to help us with the dining room, to put up some shelves and put up our new bookshelves that they very kindly gone to pick up from IKEA for us. The house is currently a mess. There is bits everywhere and books everywhere from the shelving unit because we've had to empty the shelving unit ready for when the new shelving unit goes up so that we can then move that shelving unit upstairs to Minion's room so he's got a bookshelf in his room. It's just all very complicated. There's so much going on, so much to do. And I'm so grateful for Jason right now. He's an angel anyway. I say this every time, but he is an angel and he's just proving every day how much of an angel he is when he does stuff like this. He just gets up, comes downstairs, gets it done so that I don't have to hassle and I can have a little bit more sleep and stuff like that. It's just, I love the man. I really do love the man. Anyway, I am going to sit and eat my breakfast. I have porridge again, which I need to add a banana. I've actually got a banana and an apple sat here waiting to be eaten. I have porridge with a bit of jam and a bit of cinnamon just to give it a bit of flavour. And I'm going to sit and watch another birth vlog. I've watched so many birth vlogs. They're actually getting a bit boring now. But they have been extremely educational in so many ways, so I'm trying to watch as many as I can. I'm going to chill out for 5 minutes, try and stay awake more than anything. Wait for Jason's mum and dad to get here and then help out as best as I can, or if not, now that the snow's gone, the very little amount of snow that we've had over the last few days has finally melted, so it's safe for me to go outside and walk around again. It was so dangerous walking on that snow when we had to go to the hospital on Monday. But now that the snow's gone, I can actually get my steps in today, so I'm going to, while Jason and his dad are doing the DIY that they want to do, I'm going to ask Jason's mum if she wants to wander to the shops with me for a bit of company. That way I can get my steps in, she can get her steps in, and we can get a couple of bits that we need. We'll see how the day goes.
I walked by Flex the other day. Oh yeah. As he said, whatever you do not follow your phone. It will take you through the most horrendous route.
now about 5:30 in the evening and I am shattered. Jason's mum and dad have been here pretty much all day helping us with the DIY. Me and Jason's mum did actually walk to the shops and back, so I've got my steps in for the day at least. I've done, 7,300 steps today. So I've done my step count. I've done enough steps for the day to keep my midwife happy. Jason and his dad have done an amazing job on the DIY. They've put a huge shelf in the dining room to allow us to store Jason's books and also the cat food. We've also got some calyx shelves from IKEA, which has allowed us to actually finally set up and design our crafting area, because I'm quite a crafty person. Jason likes his warhammering, his crafting and his paints. We've not been able to do much of it because of lack of space and lack of organisation. And we finally have a nice little crafting corner, which we are very happy for. His mum and dad also got us an extra shelf for above the doorway. So we've got a little bit extra storage up there for the bulk that we get from Costco, which is fantastic. And it means the room looks so much emptier and cleaner. So it's a lot easier now to exercise in there. Still need to put a few bits away, but for the most part, the house is looking so much more homely and as we wanted it, which is so nice. We've also put a couple of pictures up. We've got one up just there now of my birds, and we've also got one up in the dining room. We just need to put the 2 posters up now, which we're thinking of potentially putting up in here. We've not decided yet. We've got so much organising to do. It means we can also use the dining area now as a dining area, which is really nice. Which means we can also have guests round if we want guests round, and we can have game nights and party nights and stuff if we wanted to, finally. But it has been a long day because Jason's mum and dad have been here all day, and I've been trying to make sure that I've been available just in case someone does need help. But like I said, it's been a long day because they have been here literally all day helping us with that. I've not had a chance to have a nap. I've luckily had a chance to eat, but I am exhausted. As soon as they went home, me and Jason spent the rest of the at least the last hour and a half maybe, tidying and organising and trying to get everything in place where we want it, so that we've got a bit more space in other parts of the house and everything's a bit more tidy and in the same places. So all the stationery and crafty stuff is now on those shelves. Having everything up off the floor is so much better and so much handier in regards to space and storage. And it just feels so much more like our home now, instead of just the house that we live in. Like, it was every single day, it feels a little bit more like home, but it's really starting to look and feel like a home that we live in. Just the ability to now customize it and put shelves up and put hooks up and everything else has just been so beneficial. So freaking beneficial. I've not even had a chance to colostrum harvest today. From getting up, we've been non-stop so busy. I've not even thought about colostrum harvesting today. I'm taking a break, taking a day off from colostrum harvesting. Hopefully it won't affect my supply too much. Hi Minion. Minion's getting excited because he knows Dad's making food. The house feels so much less cluttered now. So much tidier, so much neater, and so much more like a home. It's just so refreshing. But I am shattered. I really badly need to go to sleep, but at the same time, my body is begging for food. So my body is currently having a bit of an argument of whether or not food or sleep is more important right now. So Jason is wonderfully kindly making tea. He's making us some omelette, and so I'm going to wolf that down, see how I feel. Oh dear, acid reflux. Ugh. Oh, again with the acid reflux. I'm going to see how I feel after food and then decide whether or not to get an early night or whether or not to try and stay up a bit longer and try and get a full night's sleep. Just going to have to wait and see which... He's really moving right now. He's very excited for food. But yeah, we're just going to have to see what I'm in the mood for or what I have the energy for later. I definitely don't have the energy to exercise. I want to exercise. I badly want to exercise, especially to stretch out my left hip. But I just do not have the energy. I am beyond exhausted. I will leave this update for today here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when I've got my next official maternity day off. I've got a few bits I need to do, a few bits I need to reorganise and arrange, but for the most part I've got most of the day free. I'm probably going to spend most of the day recovering from today, but I do plan to do some exercise tomorrow if I do nothing else. Even if I can't get any housework done, even if I don't get any of the tidying and rearranging done, even if I sleep half the day, I want to try and get at least some kind of exercise in tomorrow.